Hey guys, it's Sarah and welcome to day 1 of Vlogmas. This is the first of 31 videos that I'm going to be posting in December, and I'm very excited to kick things off with my last Project Pan update of the year. This is the last update before my finale that'll go up at the end of December. So I am very excited to share my progress with you. I have 10 products I've been working on. This has been my year-long rolling Project 10 pan, so each month I have 10 items that I'm focusing on. Once I use something up, I roll something new in its place. So I haven't used up anything since my last update, which is actually kind of a good thing because it's so late in the year that I probably wouldn't want to roll anything new in anyway, so I'm happy to just continue focusing on these 10 things and try to hopefully use up as many of them as I can before the end of the year. Looking at the 10 items that I have here, I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to be able to finish by the end of this month, but I know there are at least a couple that I'm pretty sure I will. So let's go ahead and get started with the updates. The first one I have is the Jordana Sculpt and Go Creamy Contour Stick. So I've been working on this one since July, and every single month I come on here and I'm like, I made so little progress. I mark my progress on here every time, and it always looks like I made just the tiniest sliver of progress. Now that I look at this, it just looks like the tiniest little stump that we have left. So I really have come a long way since July. The amount that I've used up is actually more than what is left. So that tells me that even though I probably won't have this done by the end of December, this will, if I keep working on it, this will probably be finished within the first few months of 2021. So I'm actually really proud of the progress I've made on this. It's one of those things that you don't see a whole lot of progress each month, but over time, it's like, wow, I really have used a lot of this. So I use this almost every single day, and I have made just about as much progress as I think I possibly could. So I am proud of that, and I will just continue using it this month and just see how much further I can get. Another cream stick product I have in here is the Ulta Face Highlighting Stick in Pixie Dust. I've also been working on this one since July. Progress on this one has been even a little bit slower than the contour stick, I think just because I use a little bit less of it each time and I use a different brush. I use a brush to apply both of these. With the contour one I use a very dense brush, whereas this I use a fluffier like highlight brush. But last month, if you remember, I was really discouraged because I wasn't able to draw another mark on my paper, but this month I actually did bring it down quite a bit. I'll mainly just use it as a cheekbone highlight. Sometimes I'll also apply it underneath my foundation, so that has helped me get a little bit more use out of that one. Next I have the e.l.f. Matte Liquid Eyeshadow in Soft Beige. So this I've actually been using more as a bronzer than as an eyeshadow. I use it as an eyeshadow every so often, but I'm able to get the most use out of it as a bronzer. I actually really like the tone of this for almost like a blushy bronzer, just to kind of warm up my face because I haven't been using powder bronzer very much lately. I was hoping I could finish this by the end of the year, but now I'm not so sure that that's possible. We will see. I used this 13 times in November. Maybe I'll try to bump up my goal to 15 uses and just see how much more I can get used up from here, but this is not going as fast as I thought it might. Another one that I think I'll get close to finishing by the end of December, but I probably won't finish, is the Wet n Wild Rosé Champagne blush. So I have massive pan in here. Very proud of the progress I've made on this. I was looking back at the picture from last month and I really have expanded the pan a lot. My goal was to actually repress this month, and I think I'd like to get just a little more use out of here before I repress it, just because there's still a lot kind of down in this bottom left corner, so I think I want to just use it a little more. I'll probably use it until the end of the year and then I'll repress it, and then I think it really should be done in the first couple months of next year. So last month I was saying, oh, maybe I can finish this by the end of the year. A lot of people didn't think I could, and those people were probably right. I think I was being a little overly ambitious. Either way, I think I will come close to using this up in the next month. Also from Wet n Wild, I have their quad in Walking on Eggshells. This has been slow, very slow, because I've also been doing a 1 month 1 palette series, and my palette for November was the Naked Reloaded palette from Urban Decay, which has very similar shades to this quad right here, so it was tricky to get use out of both. Either way though, I did exceed my usage goal for all 4 of these shades. My goal was to use each one only 5 times, and I actually used the crease shade 9 times, and then all 3 of the other shades I used more than 10 times. So looking at the pictures though, I definitely did expand the pan on the transition shade a lot. The one where it doesn't look like I made any progress is the Eyelid Shade. This one I repressed, I think in October, and I think I must have just pressed it pretty firmly because it looks like I used hardly anything from there, but I definitely used that one 10 times, so I know I did, and I can kind of see where I did did flatten it a bit, but you probably can't tell that I made any progress at all in the picture, so that's kind of unfortunate. But obviously I think if I set a more ambitious usage goal, I would be seeing more progress, but just I'm focusing on a lot of eyeshadows all at once, so that just means that we're not going to be seeing as much progress as maybe I could be making if I was like only focusing on this, but then that would get really boring. So, all right, this is one that I'm determined to finish by my finale, the Red Apple Lipstick in Beachside. I have the tiniest little stub left of this, and looking at how much progress I've made in previous months, I definitely think that finishing this in the next month should be no problem as long as I use it another probably 15 to 20 times. I think that should knock it out. I'm excited to get this done and to be able to include it in my year-end makeup empties. Another thing that I really hope to finish by the end of this month, I think I will. I think it would be silly if I didn't. This is the Physicians Formula Healthy Powder. This I repressed in October. I thought I could have this done by this update, but there's actually a lot more in here than I thought. I did hit pan again on those two like ridges that are in the middle of the pan. I thought there was not much left, but this has been really slow ever since I repressed it. So I've been using this all over my face, and it's an under eye setting powder. So I've been using it a lot. I just think there was a deceivingly large amount of product left in there once I repressed it. So the last three products are ones that I just rolled in last month. The first one was the Jordana Pore Refining Face Primer. This is actually a pretty small tube. As you can see, it only comes with 0.68 ounces, and so I did actually use up a good amount of this month. I don't think I'll have this done by the end of the year. I think that would be pretty hard, even if I used it like every single day. I don't think that's possible, but I think I can use it most of the way up by the end of the year. So that is a pretty easy one. Primer I found is one of the easiest things for me to pan. Last month I also rolled in another eyeshadow. I'm always so ambitious with the eyeshadows. This is a liquid glitter shadow from e.l.f. in the shade Mermaid Shimmy, so it's this really pretty kind of like seafoam green color. This is one of those things where it's really hard to actually show any kind of visible progress. I think even if I kept it upright, I don't think we'd be able to see much progress going on. This is actually pretty new to my collection. I've only had it in my collection for a few months. I feel like usually with this kind of product, I wait for it to get too old before I start panning it. So I wanted to kind of stay ahead of the curve with this one. So just kind of trying to use it regularly so that it doesn't dry out before I can finish it. That's kind of what we're going for. The last thing that I rolled in last month, I have made so much progress on. This is the Jordana 12 Hour Made to Last black pencil, and wow, I cannot believe how much I used of this. How many times did I use this? I used this 16 times. I've really gotten more into black pencil liner lately. I used to almost never use pencil liner, but I've really been enjoying kind of just putting this at the base of my lashes to make my lashes look really thick. So that's the main way that I've been using this. I think last month I said I wanted to sharpen it past the 12 of the 12 hour made to last label here, and I did that. The 12 is gone, so I actually used way more of this than I thought I would, and look how small this pencil has gotten now. So again, I don't think this will be done by the finale. So frustrating. There's so many products here that are going to be like close to being done, but just not quite done by the end of this project. But I do think that if I keep using it at the rate that I have been, this will be a really small pencil by my finale. So those are the 10 products I've been working on. I do think that by my finale, the Red Apple lipstick will be done, and hopefully the Physicians Formula Healthy Powder will be done, so those will be 2 more empties. And then most of these other things I think will be really close to finished, but just not quite there. So a lot of these things I probably will roll over into my 2021 project pan. Some of them I'll probably take a break from just for a little while to switch things up. But that is all for today. I'd love if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of Vlogmas. Bye!